Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is OPTIBOTIMUS coming to you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new DC Collectibles Catwoman from Batman the Animated Series. And as you can see, she's number 4 in this new series. The first one being Batman, the second one being Two-Face, and the third one being Mr. Freeze. But all of those other ones are from actually the Batman New Adventure series, which is a little bit different of a look than the actual animated series. And to be totally honest, the animated series is really my personal favorite. But for the package here, you can see a really nice clamshell. You got the nice Batman image here in the back, as well as Catwoman along the side. You got 75 years of Batman right up there. And then the package actually shows Catwoman, as well as a necklace, her whip, and of course her pet, Isis. You can also see that she comes with a display stand kind of hidden in there, but we'll touch on that here in a little bit. That's about it really for the front of it. You can see it's sculpted by Irene Mater. I hope I'm saying that right. Here in the back though, very simple, not really anything. You got the silhouette of Batman, of course DC Comics down there, and then various warnings and contact information. Now the biggest thing, I've had these for a while and I've really had been hesitant to open these up because there's a lot of quality control issues with these. I don't know how many times I've seen figures open up, or people open these up and have their Catwoman break or their Batman break, and I'm really very nervous. One good thing that I have seen though is that several reviewers, such as Shartimus Prime, has been in contact with DC Collectibles, and they actually sent him out replacements. I think it was for Batman. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping that I don't have to go that route. I'd really just like to be able to open this up and enjoy it. But for the packaging, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get her open and see how cool she actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Catwoman open up and out of her packaging. And I am absolutely thrilled to report that mine is not broken. Now, while I was going through and actually manipulating the different joints, I was very nervous. But fortunately, none were actually stuck in place. And, you know, without having it break, I'm really very impressed with how this figure came out. Not only that, but I'm really very impressed with all the things that she comes with. I mean, they really did a great job of making this a very well-rounded piece. Now, taking her off of her stand, yes, she comes with a display stand, setting her right there. I don't know how well she'll stand without it. Let's see if I can get her, because again, as I mentioned time and time again, my table here is rounded, so it makes it a little bit more tricky to get her to stand. There we go. Now, starting off first, she does come with a display stand, which is really very cool. It comes with a couple different pieces. You do have a little turnaround here of Catwoman. You got the Batman animated logo right there. It says Catwoman. You got a front pose, a side, as well as a back, which is really cool. I appreciate that. I think that's neat. And then it comes with a clear, well, she just fell. I'm just going to set it right there. It comes with a clear display stand that you can see. Go like that. Oh, it disappears. Oh, no, you actually can kind of still see it. You got this little adjustable section right here that you can slide up and down. You can slide it all the way off if you really wanted to. It does have an adjustable section right here where you can move it in and out. It is kind of weird because when you bring it all the way back, you have this huge back section now, but you don't even need to bring it all the way back like that. So I think it's okay. And then you got a little clip right here that you can adjust and pinch kind of around the waist or something like that. And I love it. I think it's a great touch. I'm really actually kind of surprised that they included it, to be totally honest with you, but I'm thrilled that they did. It really helps the display and to keep them standing because, as you can see, she does have very small feet, which is very accurate to her animation model, so I really dig that. Now, in addition to the 2 hands that she has right there, well, and she just keeps wanting to flop. Again, it's not anything really all that bad in terms of stability. It's just my table here. It's hard to get her to stand, so I'm just gonna clip her on here and just stand right there. So in addition to the 2 hands that she has on her, she does come with 2 additional pairs. She has both a right and left hand. As you can see, I have the left hand on here where it's just kind of an open hand, nothing really too dramatic or anything with it. She does come with both a right and left more grip hand that I use on her right side right now to hold her whip, and then her other one can, you know, hold her binoculars or whatever. We'll touch on this here in a little bit. So you do have that, and then you get it both right and left, a little bit wider of a grip hand, so you can get her again holding maybe something along these lines. I mean, you can see holding it, well, kind of if I put it on the right area, the thicker area like that, something like that, if you really wanted to. It's definitely a possibility. So you do have that in. I mean, they're really nothing spectacular or anything. I mean, zooming in so that you can see it a little bit better. It's just this kind of black plastic molded in a hand, so nothing overly spectacular. She does come with a pair of binoculars that you could have her hold. You got both sides. You come in here, you can see that there's a little bit of paint detail on that side, whereas the opposite side doesn't really have anything, but you got the binoculars right there. So accessory wise, you can have that included. She also does come with a diamond necklace, which looks really great. You come in here and take a look at that. You can see some really nice paint detail on there. You got some nice blue paint for the actual jewels. You got some gold, yellowish paint there in between them, and then you got a fairly thick kind of necklace. It's nothing that I think a normal person would wear, but this made an appearance in the very first episode of Batman the Animated Series in which she appeared. So it's cool that they actually included that. And the person actually responsible for stealing this was her cat, Isis, which I'm absolutely thrilled that they included something like this. It's a wonderful little touch, and you can see real good paint detail on here. I mean, it's all molded in this kind of dark gray plastic, but really nice cat eyes on there. I really dig that. And she's actually really very articulated. I was very surprised. The head is on a ball joint, so you can get a nice range of motion with it. It kind of tilts side to side, not a heck of a lot, but you can get it rotating. The tail does rotate all the way around, so you can position it like that. I personally like leaving it up like that. Cats usually have their tails up, so I like that. And then both the hind legs as well as the forelegs here move forward and back. So you do have a lot of articulation in this little piece that, honestly, I didn't really expect. And like I said, I mean, I wish I could have an open mouth that I could put that in there, but I can, you know, wrap it around there or something. And like I said, Isis is the one responsible for stealing these jewels in that very first episode, so I'm very happy that they included that. In addition to all that, she does come with a whip, which is a rubbery kind of material. You can see that it's got the cat. I think I am not a very well-versed person when it comes to whips, but I think this is like the cat claw or something. I don't know what it's actually called, but you can see that it's separated here at the end, and then you got a nice, fairly long whip. It kind of gets a little distorted right here. You can kind of see a little bit of damage on there, and that's just from the plastic that they used. You can see it's got like some flash or whatever it is, so it is a little unfortunate, but you do have the handle right there. But you can't have Catwoman without, obviously, her whip. And coming to Catwoman herself, again, I am really quite impressed with this figure. They nailed the likeness, I really feel, very, very nicely. In terms of the articulation on it, she is extremely well articulated. The head here is on a ball joint, so you can get a nice range of motion with it, looking up, looking down, left, right, all that. The shoulders move in and out on both sides. They rotate all the way around, although you can see it is fairly stiff, and when you're rotating it, I would all day long recommend rotating it up at the top section, but you can hear that, and it sounds like it's cracking, but it's unfortunately just part of the way that the plastic is. But I can feel, as I'm rotating it, a little bit of strain on the joint to move. It finally does, but I could see where a lot of figures are actually breaking because of it. The elbows move forward and back. It kind of moves back a little bit too far, if you ask me. It's kind of weird. Rotates at the elbow as well. The wrists here, they move forward. Yeah, they move in and out. Some of them do on these DC collectible figures. Catwoman's does. The other ones I don't think do, but she does move forward and back, and they also do rotate. When you do want to replace the hand, all you do is kind of squeeze and rotate that out just to kind of loosen it, and then you take this. It's just a peg, really. It's not even a ball joint or anything, so you can position it just like so. The waist here does not have any rotation, unfortunately, but the hips do move forward. They move back a little, but her butt gets in the way, so that's about as far as it's moving back. They move in and out, which I don't like the way that these joints look. That really looks kind of ugly, but at least the articulation is there. Bends here at the knee. Both knees do. You can see at the upper part of the boot, well, at the actual top part of the boot, they rotate, and then the ankles move forward. They move back. A lot of figures are having problems with these ankles where they're breaking. They're very weak, so you do have to be careful, but it does rotate up here, so you don't have the rotation down there, but it does have a pivot going side to side, so you do get a lot of articulation with this, and it is a very articulated figure, but the posing is a little bit more limited, just because, like I said, these feet are so tiny, you can get it to stand, but you bump it and it is going to fall, so it's a little unfortunate, but I don't think it's really all that terrible. But this likeness is just really spot on. They nailed how she looked in the actual cartoon, and I dig it. I really do. It's probably my favorite of the first wave, just because it is Batman the Animated Series. The New Adventures, I mean, it's not bad or anything of that nature. It's just I never watched it, and the design changed a little bit into the more weirdly shaped. Like, I mean, the upper body was big and then it tapers down, and things towards the bottom, like the feet, get much smaller. Whereas this is kind of small across the whole figure. But all in all, I really do like the figure. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful piece that, if you're a fan of Batman and I mean, you're probably a fan of the animated series, so well, I can't do that. So odds are you're going to want this, and I would absolutely recommend picking it up. Now, the unfortunate nature of things is there is a lot of quality control issues with this. And a lot of these figures are not in mass retail. You gotta find them at like comic book stores. So that being the case, not a lot of comic book stores have replacements in case yours does break. So just be careful, and when you're doing it, when you open it, if you feel like a joint is locked, you can try the tried and true methods of, you know, soaking it in boiling hot water, maybe using a hair dryer, just to kind of loosen up that paint so you can get that joint to pop. But don't force it, and you should be okay. Beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been OPTIBOTIMUS. Don't forget that you can keep in touch with me by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/TeamBotimus, and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/OPTIBOTIMUS. Also, I'd encourage you to check out my new website at OPTIBOTIMUSreviews.com, where you can see all my videos from the previous week, see what I have coming up for future release, and also get your very own OPTIBOTIMUS t-shirt. And finally, I'd also really appreciate it, guys, that if you like this review, don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.